Good morning, Washington. This is Big Dave on Dave TV here on DCRTV.com looking at the Washington Post today. What do you see there? That's right. No ad on the back page of the A section there. That's pretty bad. Can't sell at prime real estate of the back page of your A section, main news section. That's pretty bad. How you doing, everybody? It is the 22nd of March, 2012, and let me, so you can better see me here. Turn on the lights. Lights, camera, action. Okay, so we just did the DC radio ratings, and I guess one of the big stories was the fact that WNEW, that new all-newser from CBS, still hasn't gotten any traction. Okay, now, you know, you can say, okay, it's only, February's only the first full month the station's been around, you know, and it's going to take a while, and it's a slow build, and that's fine, and that's, you know. The other thing is this, though. You know, what's going to change the current situation? If the station has no ratings right now, it was 32nd in the monthlies and 36th in the weeklies. If the new all-newser has no ratings now, what's going to give it ratings? What's going to change in March and April and May and June? Give it some ratings, okay? If CBS does nothing, just continues programming the station the way it's programmed, is it going to grow? I mean, you know, as I said before, CBS hasn't given anybody a reason to switch over from TOP. You know, TOP, again, the #1 station in the Washington market, you know, easily. You know, TOP's got a great signal. People in the Washington area love it, the way it, you know, it sounds. They like the people on it. You know, it's just, there's no reason to switch to another station. And CBS hasn't given them a reason. So, you know, I know Dan Mason. Dan Mason, he's the head of CBS Radio, and Steve Swenson is the head of CBS Radio here in D.C. They've got a problem cluster. You know, this is probably, of all the major markets, when you look at New York and Philly and L.A. and San Francisco and all these other markets, Chicago, you've got to look at Washington and say, you know, this is one of CBS's more problematic clusters. They only have one station. You know, they got 5 major FMers in this market, and only one of them at the moment is really a performer, and that's Fresh 94.7. You know, that's the only one in the top 10. The other 4 FMers are outside the top 10 and way outside the top 10. So, you know, JFK needs work, and PGC needs work, and LZL there on that Annapolis signal needs work, and, you know, it's kind of sad. So, if Dan Mason or Steve Swenson came to me, the pile of cash, and said, "Hey, Dave, you're a consultant. Tell us what you do to fix our station." Here's what I do. Okay, there you go. Freeze frame it and read it. Here's what I would do. Signal, 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 signal. 99.1 just ain't gonna cut it when you're covering the Washington market. It's a Baltimore market signal. Yeah, you can get it on your car radio in Northern Virginia, but you know, they got to do something, okay? You know, they could, you know, somehow shift their signals around, maybe use 106.7 for WNEW, but then you got to move JFK around. You know, one of the maybe better ways to do it is put the new WNEW on 95.5, which is at least inside the Beltway signal, and move PGC over to 99.1. You know, but 99.1 would still cover PGC's core market of Prince George's County, and it would get you know, the CBS urban station up into Baltimore, where CBS doesn't have an urban station. You know, there's, you know, market PGC as kind of a bi-market, dual-market signal. I don't know. You know, that to me seems like one of the easier fixes. 95.5 then would give CBS a better signal for WNEW than 99.1. And, you know, 99.1 would again reach more of the core market that PGC goes after. Or, you know, buy some more signals. You know, 92.5 in Winchester, which has great coverage in Northern Virginia, or 94.3 if you could wrestle it away from Dan Snyder there. Or either one of those signals added to the 99.1 signal would certainly help WNEW out. But they need to do something signal-wise. Okay? The other thing they need to do is to differentiate themselves from WTOP more. You know, call themselves News Express. This is Washington's News Express. Break away from what WTOP is doing and do a really fast-paced, kind of urgent-sounding news kind of operation. You know, TOP is a more laid-back, conversational type of all-newser. Maybe they need to really up that kind of tension sound that, you know, and just from a sound perspective, you know, more gizmo-y noises and, you know, but you need to brand the station. This is News Express, and maybe have a metro train sound shooting by, and then do really fast cycled news traffic weather headlines. News traffic weather headlines, maybe every 2 minutes. News traffic weather headlines. But, you know, really rebrand the station as the News Express. We're fast. TOP's slow and conversational. We're fast. We're going to get it to you every 2 minutes. News traffic weather. You know, do something like that. In fact, you wouldn't even need that big of a staff to do that. In fact, you can put a lot of it on digital recordings and do it. You know, just run them over and over again. I don't know. But, you know, they need to do something to differentiate themselves. Or perhaps they need to go into a more of a news talk format where they maybe do this News Express during rush hours and then flip more into a news talk format during the non-rush hours, like middays and overnights and evenings, where they have more conversational news and talk. You know, a lot of the CBS stations are news talkers. If you listen to WBZ in Boston, you know, it's news during the morning and afternoon rush. But then during the other times they have talk format. You know, maybe they need to do that. You know, really maybe instead of going after TOP so much, maybe aim more for WMAL or do some kind of a mix of that. But they need to find their way here, and they haven't, obviously. And again, promotion, advertising. You know, back of the bus things, cable TV ads. You know, and they need to make more use of YouTube, maybe to. You know, do some, you know, need to sell the talent on the station. Who are these people? You know, tell us who your morning, afternoon drive anchors are. Have conversations with them. Post them on YouTube. Make more use of social media. And they need a much better website. That's CBS, Washington.cbslocal.com, or what is it called? CBS DC. It's all the same site. It's not very good. You know, it's just kind of a carbon cookie cutter thing of CBS stations all over the country. And, you know, WTOP beats the crap out of WNEW's website. They really need to focus on that. If they did some of these things or some kind of a mix of these things, that's the way to success for WNEW. Otherwise, by the fall, we may be seeing an oldies station on 99.1. WNEW. The DC's version of NYC's CBS FM. I don't know. But, you know, hey, that wouldn't be so bad either. All right, so since I did something on WNEW, I thought I'd just remind you all about my WMAL fixes. WMAL 17th place or 16th, 17th place in the latest radio ratings. What do they need to do? They need to make a full news department and really start selling their news. They need to retweak their AM show. Brian and Brian, I don't know. Mary Catherine Ham was a little step upward, but the show still needs some work. They need to focus on liberal and conservative. You know, they are trying to be a righty talker, and that works in a lot of markets, and it works in a lot of small towns, but this is a big liberal market, Washington is. Why do you want to ignore that huge liberal potential audience on your station that's into political talk and all that? Go for liberal and conservative. You know, make the morning show have a liberal and a conservative on the morning, kind of battling each other. You know, that would be like a Braden and Buchanan did on the old WRC radio. Something like that where you have actively more of a clash of opinions, not just a righty talk station. You know, bring in those, you know, huge liberal audience who wants political talk in the Washington market. Why do you ignore them? Why do you berate them? They need to get rid of Chris Plant. They need to put him in a dungeon. They need to put him down there in the dungeon down in Jennifer Street and lock him away so we never see him again. Kidding, I'm kidding, but they need to do that. They need a live and local PM drive show, okay? Hannity doesn't cut it when you're trying to, you need live and local, both AM and afternoon drives. And maybe they need to split 630 and 105.9 with different programming, you know? Put Rush Limbaugh on 105.9, put Mike Huckabee on 630. Do something like that. And they also need a better website. Their website ain't very good either. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Here we go. Let's make a paper airplane. Let's make a paper airplane out of this and fly it into radio success. People look at me and they say, hey, Dave, you're a crazy guy. You wear camo shorts. You shave your head. Woo! Hey, that worked pretty good. That's a pretty good plane. Look at that. I like that. Woo! I know this market. I've lived here 40 effing years. Okay, I've been listening to Washington radio for 40 years. Who else has been doing that? Me. It's driven me crazy. It's made me insane. But there it is. I know this market. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to this crazy, raging lunatic. It's just about the 11-minute mark here on Dave TV for the 22nd of March, 2012. So, there.